Uh, okay. So we begin our session upon the large balcony surrounding the villa of the merchant princess Akin Afa. About an hour after Team Jungle Princess had their first ever 1-2 finish in an Unchained Dino race. Many members of the upper echelon of Kraziki High Society are still in attendance, including the merchant princess Jasmine, and a few other high-powered merchants from the port city. Brett has been paid out handsomely, one of the few in attendance after betting on the underestimated Jungle Princess team. And talk of the party is, of course, Maddie, adding yet another notch in her belt of Port Hope fame, not only finishing her first dinosaur race unscathed, but achieving second place. So from here, what would everybody like to do? We've got some party goers, a dino racer who should be on her way back, and a few people kind of that were out around the city, but could also return. My music is so hot right now. There we go. So yeah, basically, we can kind of jump around with today's timeline, however you see fit. We can fast forward to the next day. We can do some things. I know our good friend Tiny has some plans. But yeah, let me know. Let me know the things you want to do, the things you want to achieve. Do you want to win the whole book? Just let me know.
Are we gonna roll hit dice?
Yeah. How could I forget about the most exciting part? Level 4. Hit dice. Who's got a D100? Wow. Terrible. That's a Nick roll. It's a Nick roll on a D100. Who wants to go first? Hit dice. Gosh, hit dice is so fun.
I can do it.
That's a D4? D4 for you?
D8.
Damn. I could not help. I apologize.
Five's not bad on D8.
I can help, Brett.
There we go.
Ooh.
I love a bard. What else we got? Mythos D10. My word. Hey. D8 for Tiny. 7.
Yeah.
I beat you. You got
You
a
did.
6.
I did get a 6.
Oh no,
Please save me,
Gamos.
Michael.
All right.
It's average.
That'll do. That'll do.
Much better.
Oh no. Hey.
There you
go. Oof. Did I help everyone? Except Maddie.
Except for Maddie, but that's all right. I mean, everybody was above average, so that's what you want.
That's
Or at least
work.
average.
Solid work, folks. Add that Constitution modifier. Gonna have some beefy people out there, I feel like.
Maddie would like to keep her dinosaur as a token of Jungle Princess's undying love. And if that's exorbitantly expensive or just not going to happen, she thinks she deserves something from Jungle Princess other than, like, you know, good job, good effort. You know, she's really trying to, and she's definitely enlisting. I mean, I assume Brett is actively encouraging this sort of behavior.
Of trying to keep your dinosaur?
Or of just like basking in the glory and trying to
totally.
Get money for it. But that's,
Always be branding.
She's definitely got a little bit of big head at the moment.
Yeah, so they will kind of emphatically tell you that they cannot give you the dinosaur, especially after it showed its prowess. But they are willing to pay you out, which I have. let's see. Let me show you some. So a baby Deinonychus, which is basically what you're after. You are got a Velociraptor. Like a baby Deinonychus can be purchased for the low price of 250 gold pieces, and that's just like a baby regular Deinonychus, untrained baby. But this thing is trained, and it's like a youth. And it just showed that it could win. So they're not really willing to get rid of it for any less than 1,500 gold pieces. But they do pay you out 400 gold pieces for your win, or your second place. Excuse me while as I cough into the microphone.
He's talking to his wife. You'll have to.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sorry, I heard 400 gold. Yeah,
400 gold pieces. Yeah, and they couldn't let this dino go for any less than 1,500 pieces. And they wouldn't like to let it go, but for you, they'll at least give a cost.
It's not very practical to have a small dinosaur
in the jungle.
And my character can't easily be converted to, riding a dinosaur. I don't think there's a lot of monk cavalier.
That was sick.
So
multi-class.
Yeah, monk cavalier. Flying, you just ride by just kicks. Ride by kicks and punches.
Horrifying, honestly.
Yeah, 400
I've ever heard of. But 400 gold pieces they will give you straight up.
All right.
And they are super pleased after the event. Excuse me, Michael. Excuse me.
I'll be bought off, and I promise them when I'm back in town, we'll either ride dinosaurs or fight in the Coliseum.
Yeah, they are super quick to basically tell you when you get back in town, straight here, come straight here, and they also tell you that they're happy to pay out for any dinosaur eggs that you find out there in the jungle.
Is there anything else that we could find for them?
No, not really. Dinosaurs are their moneymaker. If there's
is it like horses where this Velociraptor is going to race for a year and then just have sex for the next 15 years?
It really depends on the Velociraptor stock,
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's good, and they are holding it for you to ride if that's what you're after, to continue your streak, and ride this high of fame in Port Hope.
Sounds good. My goal is to make Maddie so famous that Saru will have heard of her.
There's a statue of her.
Oh,
we'll see how it
we
goes.
can work with that.
You never know. Just don't die in the jungle.
Yeah.
What else? What are other people thinking? Things you wish to achieve.
Brett at the party would be trying to glad hand a little bit.
Absolutely.
Social butterfly. Two things he'd want to achieve. He would have gone up to what's the princess over the race's name? Because she's there, right?
The race is not in attendance.
Okay.
She is. Who is? I don't remember who's in charge of the race, but they are not in attendance.
Then what's the princess who's hosting us?
The Akin Afa is there,
Afa.
and Jasmine is also there.
And which one is Jasmine?
Jasmine is like plants, poisons, and she is in charge of sanctions in the city.
Gotcha. Okay, then I would have gone up to Akinafa and really talking up the idea of the Hartzell equivalent for us sporting fans
good.
at the next like when we're back at the gladiator tournaments. Like just really being a entertainer, hype man, MC sort of situation. Of course, charges handsomely for the services, but think that would really get the crowd going, and even parties like this could use some commentary.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
It's bad.
Yeah, so just after like interacting with her for a while, talking about that, like she definitely seems like apt to the idea of bringing in a little more like excitement and like trying to keep the crowd's attention in between bouts, especially because like she kind of will, tell you like as much as the goal is entertainment, the more we can get people spending, the better. So yeah, she's interested in that, and she's very interested in the safe return of your group. So
Okay.
because of
Then-
all they've kind of shown to the city so far.
And Jasmine is the only other princess that she kind of trusts, right?
Yeah, for the most part. So Jasmine is she, it's trusts her enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, trusts
Enough to invite her to the party.
Yeah, well, she would tell you all of them were
Were
invited, but they all host other things as well. It's
Gotcha.
kind of that's just what they do. They
Gotcha.
always.
Okay.
It would be a slight to not invite anyone.
Got it. Well, he would try and strike up a conversation with Jasmine. She said plants, poisons, and sanctions.
Yeah.
Trying to glean some info about plants and poisons, especially stuff that we might find out in the jungle.
Let's see if I can find her picture. Spelling it wrong? Oh, it's like Jessamine. Here's what she looks like. Kind of got like this gray streak in her hair, which is pretty cool, I'd say. Yeah, so on your approach to her, she has two like servants with her, and you can tell that they are definitely there out of protection rather than anything else, even if they are like kind of like dressed in nice flowing looking clothing. Like just getting a look at them, they look like they could probably kick somebody's ass pretty easily. And they kind of, make their presence known on approach, but she will like kind of like, wave them off before kind of like walking up to you and like introducing herself as the merchant prince Jessamine. On trying to see what all is listed here. Okay, so she is extremely quick to take to your, asking about plants, poisons, whatnot, and very quick to plug that she has a large variety of poison local to the area for sale, if that's something that you're interested in. And she has like a vast amount of people who work for her in the growing of local like plants and extraction of dangerous poisons from both plants and animals, and just from her conversations throughout the day, like learning like, oh, you're the you're the kind of new people in town that have been making a splash. Maddie wins the, all this stuff. She'll offer an opportunity if you're looking to make extra coin while you're out on your expedition. That she's heard that you will be taking a small expedition into the jungle. That she'd be willing to kind of give you like a list of things that she would be interested in, plants, exotic, maybe harder to find plants that are known to be kind of further out into the jungle. That if you were to bring back, she could trade for coin.
Yeah, definitely.
If that's something you're interested in.
Always. Yeah, are these things easy to identify? I'm just a humble singer here.
For those well trained in either the local flora or those well trained in identifying such things, I'm sure someone as smart as yourself can figure it out, or maybe one of your companions.
Okay. What our guide?
Who will be taking you? I haven't yet heard.
We call her Pterodactyl Lady. What's her real name?
Azaka.
Azaka.
Ah, yes, one of Jobal's. Azaka is quite familiar with the area, as far as I know. She's from here, born out in the jungle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she seemed quite hardy, quite experienced. But we're simple tourists in your strange land. Perhaps as there's someone you might recommend better.
Oh, I don't think Jobel would like me meddling in his affairs, but I might be able to find someone for you if you're looking elsewhere.
I don't know about looking elsewhere, just wanting to have the most capable hands. I didn't win, best smile in Briarwood to only lose all my teeth out in the jungle, if you know what I'm saying.
Of course, I think Azaka.
That's a crit on persuasion, by the way.
I think Azaka will treat you well. From what I've heard, she's taken out many, much like yourself. And I haven't taken the medal of the rest of your group, but even a pretty face like yours, I think Azaka can keep safe.
I'm just gonna insight check that.
Yeah, you think as far as she knows that she's telling the truth. There's a little bit of coyness with her, and with that insight, you get the vibe that maybe she was just thinking of having a go at one of her rivals a little bit.
Gotcha.
But
just how can I screw this guy?
Yeah, how can I mess with Jobel?
Yeah.
But it seems that she's taken to and thinks wiser of it.
I gotcha. What do you think of the attack on our dear host the other day? Terrifying.
Yes, it is quite terrifying. This is a strange time. It especially for those of us close. I was worried that Arakeen might think that this was my doing. But I assured her very, very quickly there were no sanctions out on her. A merchant prince or princess has never dared to go that far, taking sanctions out upon one of our own.
Plus, I imagine, if there were, you wouldn't necessarily be here enjoying her food and drink. Am I right?
Yes. You're quite right. As she takes a drink of nice amber-colored wine.
If it wasn't one of the other princes who would have something to gain by her being eliminated.
She kind of takes a long pause, kind of pondering the question. I've never quite trusted our affairs with some of the across the sea allies that we've taken in recently. It's hard enough to police our streets here in the port, but bringing in companies from across the sea to help enforce and police our rules in the jungles, I was a dissenter on that decision.
Was Akeena a dissenter as well?
Well, it wouldn't be my place to say what my fellow princes and princesses made. Our public decisions are that of the group. My personal decisions, of course, are my own.
Understood. You can't have a closed door meeting only for everyone to know what was said moments later. Perfectly understandable. What companies do y'all hire to?
Well, since you're going in the jungle, I'm sure you've heard of the dangers as of late. Undead threat. There is an order who specializes in taking care of such things from all across the globe. We even had a small group here, and that is how we reached out to others. The Order of the Gauntlet, a faction of, to be honest, somewhat religious zealots, as far as I'm concerned. But they do a good job. They're clearing out the jungles of the undead threat as we speak.
And that was the cleric ladies, priestess ladies order, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The orc woman that you had talked to the other day.
Person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the second is a mercenary group from Morantz, the Flaming Fist. To be honest, they're the ones I'm not sure are suited to be here. But of course, if you have a charter and you're heading out into the jungle, you shouldn't have to deal with them.
Why is Flaming Fist ringing a bell? Should I know that one?
These are actual D&D factions. Just
gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Reskinned to fit the world. So yeah, you've probably heard
Got it.
both of the names from other campaigns.
Okay. So she's but even though we have a charter, it sounds like we should be wary of both these groups. I'm not trying to get you to to speak ill or anything, but I would appreciate, we are going out into the dangerous wilds. Any assistance you can give. That's an 18, by the way.
Of course, the Order of the Gauntlet, while they may be a bit not my taste, I think they're harmless enough, unless, of course, you or your friends are undead. Avoiding them, probably not necessary. But the fists, if you can stay out of their way, I think that's probably the best path forward. They're overly aggressive, power hungry, and it's almost as if they don't realize where their power was granted from. It's us who brought them here, and it's us who could be rid of them.
Sure.
Their little charters of adventurers have gone straight to their head.
Sure, they need to respect the true authority in this land.
Of course.
Where do they operate from? Do they stay to a certain region?
They operate out of Fort Belrulian. And she will give you a general position of where that is, and as the map loads...
This map is so crazy.
It's insane. Fort Belrulian is here. So it's just a further...
so the opposite direction of where we're going?
Yeah. So that's where their fort is. It's north in the bay. And if you were to have to get a charter yourselves, that's where you would have had to gone there to get one.
Got it.
And there are ferries that take you into the bay to take you over there, or you can go yourself, just dependent on how you want to do things. But since you're getting a charter, you don't have to go up there.
Cool.
But she'll kind of tell you, they basically patrol the jungles from Fort Belrulian, like down into the jungle, and essentially, from her perspective, are literally just like basically like stop and frisk. They're like looking for reasons to get money from people, and she doesn't seem to trust them. Put us back on the other map, unless we want to stay here for any reason. I think his computer just went out. What else? What else we got? What else do others want to... Oh, his power went out.
Should have played in person.
I'm good. Maddie's done what she wants to do. I think Barlet, were you next up on the list?
Yeah, I'm just using augury for both the two potential guides that we were thinking of.
Okay.
Just to confirm.
Because I'm going to assume Gamos and Methus probably don't have much.
No. Stop by, congratulate Maddie.
Yep.
And it says, "Welcome to the jungle."
So what is your question for augury?
I mean, it's really just, is this the best guide? Or, yeah.
So the result of a specific course of action. So you have to basically have a course.
Well-
It's not like a yes or no question guy.
Well, yeah. So, will choosing this guide get us to where we need to go?
Ooh, that's a good question. Tough for me to answer that specifically.
Okay.
Just because that's a really general one, I think you need to
Right.
narrow it a bit. Just because I honestly can't give you an answer to that.
What's our main goal? Finding the UNT team?
Yeah, I think so. And we're just like, I guess, maybe just being like, are they trustworthy? Are they gonna like, not stab us in the back?
Yeah.
That's more. It might be beyond the literal gods to know if this guide can lead us there or not. But like,
Yeah.
are they true to their word?
Yeah, is it like a question like
action we plan to take.
yeah,
That's not even like-
is bringing this guide is hiring this guide a
The
decision.
safest option?
Yeah, is hiring this guide something that will lead us into trouble or something that will lead us into backstabbing or betrayal? Like that
Right.
could work. Is hiring this guide honestly even just like the plan to take like hire is hiring this guide like a good option almost as a question like that I would be able to answer. It's more like, yeah, I can't do the like, can this guide get you to where you want to go? Because you don't necessarily know where you want to go,
Right.
nor do I know if you're going to get moved to the jungle. So the gods can't necessarily answer that. But the gods could know if you're going to get betrayed. The gods could know if this guide has ill intentions or personal intentions.
Yeah, so I think it just is this guy is taking is this guide true to their word?
I like that one. So yeah, and like I feel like especially for Augury and like the way that Tiny does it, like the way that he's done things so far, it's like he's not even necessarily asking the question. He's just like looking for, like he's just opening himself up to the world and waiting for a response. Like
Yeah, it's very much
it's
he's
feeling,
getting a vibe, getting a feeling. Yeah, he's not looking for an answer, more just does this make him uneasy?
Yes. And Wheel. You get Wheel back. So you get the sense that you can trust this person.
Cool.
He's back.
I'm back.
So yeah, you get Wheel on that.
Cool. And yeah, since that's kind of the one we're thinking of anyway, getting just the confirmation or the affirmation is just like, all right, we'll roll with it, see what happens.
Love it. So what else? Anything else for the rest of the day? I'm gonna hand wave the fact that you're gonna hire a guide, and the guide's gonna tell you, we need rations, we need rain catchers, we need insect repellent, like et cetera, et cetera. I'm not worrying about that shit, because that's not what this campaign is.
What do you mind what was the last thing you said to me before I vanished?
That's a good question.
It was something about the flaming fists, I think. I don't know.
The flaming fist just kind of patrolling the jungle,
Mm-hmm.
and that Jasmine doesn't necessarily like them here. She thinks that they're kind of more abusing their power and looking for ways to make easy money,
Gotcha.
like on the backs of the merchant princess who hired the princess who hired them to be here in the first place.
Oh, and so if is it okay if I continue? I had just another question that I wanted to
Yeah, absolutely.
So why would these outside companies be after Akeem? You know, if she is the princess of the arena, what does taking her out have to gain for them?
I'm not sure if you've heard, but there has been attempts on others as well. So I'm not sure if Akeem was their only target.
Had we heard that? I don't think we.
Yeah, you know that one other prince is actually dead.
Oh, that's right.
Though it's not public knowledge yet. So yeah, she's just dropping that
Okay.
freely.
How many have there been?
Over the years, I bet there's been more than we know. Some probably swept under the rug, but these two happening the way they did, let's just say my eyes are open. And she gives one of these looks around the party, kind of like someone's here gonna fucking stab her or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also being a little too playful about it.
Yeah. I'll lean in. And if it's the Flaming Fists who you think are behind this, why not just revoke their power and hire someone else?
Well, if you and I were on the council alone together, I think that would be an easy decision to make. But you see, I have, well, I guess only 5 others that need to make that decision with me.
Have some others made their loyalties clear? My character sheet's not up, but persuasion check.
We have not had an official session, as they say, since it's been a lot of keeping up illusions that everything is fine.
I see, but someone's purse strings might be a little heavier than others, so they say, and I'll throw her a wink.
Oh, I think some might be very heavy.
Would if we were to poke around while we're out there, what should we be looking for?
Out there, I wouldn't expect there to be much. The fists on patrol, as I said, be wary of them. I've heard tell that they've confiscated a little more than they should from time to time.
Well, if we run into them, I'll just tell them that you gave us our clearance and that we're good to go, and I'll throw her another wink.
She'll give you like a nod.
Mm-hmm.
And she will tell you that before you leave, one of her servants will be in touch with basically a grocery list for the jungle.
Cool.
of plants.
After talking to her, are there any now that we're at a rich and fancy party? Are there any high scale ladies that Brett
Oh,
set
there-
his sights on?
There are plenty.
Nice.
The place is a feasting ground for Brett's desires.
Excellent.
Trying to find my plant shit. Probably come after session because I know it's in here somewhere. Just a big book. All right, what else? Tiny did an augury. Your guide after the augury and the subsequent hiring of Azaka, telling her you already have a charter for adventure. All of this is pleasing to her. I don't know if you're letting her in on the fact that your benefactor is Keen Alpha or not. But either way, you do have the cash to give to her up front from a Keen. So yeah, she'll basically tell you the things that need to be purchased to go into the jungle, rations, insect repellent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Tents, all that shit, which a Keen will basically pay for, however you need. And then talking with Azaka, the only thing she needs from you is to know where we are headed and if we need canoes or not. So, getting onto this page, y'all. You got options. So a Keen needs to know your general, like where you want to go. Because she'll let you know it's faster even going up river to move by the river, if that's possible. So canoes basically get you 2 hexes a day. While going through the jungle gets you 1. You can move at faster speeds to get extra in the jungle, but faster speeds means moving more loudly, as well as not having your senses like as your wits about you. Basically, your perception checks go down.
There's no
Mechanically speaking.
deadline, right?
What's up?
There's no deadline, right, team?
Preston,
there's not a-
muted.
It's not dead, but it sounded like faster is better in the jungle, but also
Yeah, no hard deadline, but Zendala's probably gonna want to find her father sooner than later.
Yeah, and you would also know like a Keen, is worried about the continual one threat on the city from outside sources that might be coming to kill people, such as herself, and also her continual rotting that is happening to her. Worried that maybe at some point that rot will kind of overtake her. But as far as like hard deadlines, there are none. So yeah,
and we think is the plan to go to try to find like the Oracle first and then have her maybe tell us what's going on or tell us where we can find the Yuan-Ti, because we're not 100% sure where they are.
Yeah, that seemed like our best lead that I can
Okay.
remember.
That's what I remember too. I just want to double check.
What is the rich girl's name again?
Zendala.
Zendala.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, how much are we weighing trying to chase her father, and how much are we trying to find the bigger picture problem?
I think
I got
chasing her
this-
father is one of the same.
I thought she was just coming along for the ride to be safe. I mean, I wasn't. I missed that session, but but my memory was she just was coming because she needs people to travel with.
Yeah, she's looking for people to go out into the jungle, and look for her father is like her main goal, of course. But she also doesn't know where her father went. So going into the jungle with a group of sturdy individuals seems like a good.
She might want to go to an oracle and be like, "Where's my dad?"
Yeah, and you've heard of the oracle from a few sources, but that doesn't mean she knows that there's an oracle somewhere in the jungle.
But this is helpful because I just wasn't sure. It's not like she's wanting to go to X and we're wanting to go to Y.
Yeah, she doesn't know where her
she's
dad
wanting to
went.
start somewhere.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
She just doesn't want to go into the jungle alone at this point. And if she can go out and find hints or clues or something somewhere, she's got to get in the jungle first to do that.
So then I think so her name's Zendala. Our guide's name is what?
Azaka.
Azaka. Sorry. These are just not names I'm going to remember. As far as where Azaka's wanting that information, I think to the Oracle makes the most sense. Unless anyone else has any other thoughts.
No, I mean I think that makes the most sense. Unless you guys want
Yeah.
to just go on Maddie's personal side quest, aka Dragonbone Treasure, but
Yes.
maybe someday something will
Michael-
pull us over there. But
Go ahead.
and then as far as canoes go, I think we're trusting on her to be like, should we take canoes to the Oracle? Does that make the most sense, or are we just gonna have to trudge on foot? We don't know.
Yeah, okay. So if the Oracle is the main goal, and she won't mark it on your map because that would be beyond the point at the moment. But she will guide you there. And she'll tell you the general direction headed is westish, southwest. She would recommend going down the river Soshenstar to the Aldani Basin and then making our way to the Oracle from there. That will be quickest. We can ditch the canoes at Camp Vengeance or even near Imbala. And then make
Camp
our way on.
Vengeance is with the people. That's with the people who are trying to establish the new beachhead in the fight against the undead.
Yeah, the fight against the undead.
The Gauntlet, Order of the Gauntlet.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan to me.
So that would be her go. Yeah, that would be her quickest way to get to the Oracle, unless you have access to a sailing vessel. Yeah, that's probably her.
I pull out this little box and I throw it on the river, and it turns into a boat.
Guy, you have Chaudhry's folding boat?
He got it from somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
Let me see how much that cost you to get.
Put it on my tab.
Yeah.
Actually- Put it on Croft's tab. He's got extra room.
Michael, what were
Put it
the?
on Nate's tab.
There were two like legends or rumors that we picked up at the in-person session. Do you mind restating those?
Oh yeah, there were. Let's see. Was there two or was there like 1.5? Like one with another one?
I don't remember.
What do you ask?
There were two like legends that Brett picked up before the Dino race last week in person.
Okay, yeah. So one
Oh, the-
was about Uptow,
Yes.
and so Uptow is. Okay, I remember where we.
The Dendar Knight Serpent?
Yeah, so you got a little backstory on Uptow. So Uptow is, as you were looking into it, Uptow is kind of the equivalent of the Dawn Pantheon from your perspective. Like it covers this one god covers kind of all of what the Dawn Pantheon covers for you. And Uptow is was known to imprison a primordial spirit named Dendar the Night Serpent. Dendar the Night Serpent was a primordial who attempted to destroy the earth by devouring the sun. And Uptow stopped him and imprisoned him.
Gotcha.
That's kind of the local god lore on what Uptow did. And then further on that, there was the rumor the great god Uptow loved mazes. If you happen upon a maze of any kind, trace a path through it, and you will earn Uptow's favor by doing so.
Gotcha.
Yes, so those were the.
So imprisoned by Uptown, not in Uptown.
Correct. By Uptown. A folding boat would have been $10,000 if you would have gotten it from the 10,000 gold piece dollars. If you would have gotten it from
Mother!
But don't worry, you can get a free canoe from Akinafa. Just have to carry it through the jungle if you want to keep it. So to Camp
Fort Vengeance.
Camp Righteous from Port Hope is a 7-day journey down the river. If that is the plan.
I think so.
Will you be talking to Zendala and bringing her along? Are you a ghosting her, leaving her in the dust? Anything else that you want to do in town before you head out on your first venture into the jungles of Krazik?
Brett, with flush with his new winnings, is going to try and meet and hook up with the lady at the party.
Easy enough. Roll a. I have to think of my checks. What are the charisma checks? Persuasion, probably.
It's a base 18, so I can roll for higher, but that's an 18.
Hilarious. Yeah, I think Brett has the pick of mostly anyone at the party and a pretty easy night as far as he's concerned.
Awesome. That's where Brett's at for the rest of the day.
He'll be ready to roll by about 9:30 at the earliest.
Oh, I was thinking like 3 p.m., but that works too.
9:30 is the 3 p.m. of whatever time this is.
I assume Maddie would want Zendala to come.
So I see no reason not to bring her.
No.
Dragons are pretty cool.
Party here. We're all on the same page. Make life easier. Just gonna. Oh my god! Why are you so huge? I really expected them all to be small, but let's put you up here for now. And who else I need?
Gamos is basically a sea monster right now.
Yeah, it's really scary. I need a Zidala. Okay. She just gets to be tiny? Not, you know what I mean.
So does she still have like the red scarf around her? Is that what people see?
um, uh, no, so generally people don't see anything around her neck. And for some reason, often Maddie is kind of able to see this like curled up, which now she recognizes as like the scaled pseudo dragon around her neck when you interact with her. Sometimes you'll find that the dragon will be visible for everyone to see, but most of the time he is invisible. And you can talk to her more about that. Can you see her health bar?
No.
Can you see her health bar now?
Yes.
And her name?
Yes.
Great. And Sokka, where are you? Okay, also fucking tiny. Not like that, but maybe.
Play the drop.
Took me a while to get there, but I made it. Can you see her name and health bar now?
Yes.
Why is her health bar over?
Except her health bar's on top.
And Zendala's is below. That's so stupid. Why is that?
There should be an option to on the edit token.
Okay. Bottom overlapping would be great. Thank you. There we go.
It helps
All right.
Gorm doesn't have a health bar either.
Nor
What?
is Tiny.
The fuck?
I have a health bar.
We don't see your health bar.
Oh.
Or at least I don't.
Working on it. How about now?
Sure.
Right.
Can you see everyone's health bar?
Yeah.
Alright, let me relink Tiny. And relink Gorm. That is so weird. Who's my beefiest boy out there? Unsurprising. Unsurprising. It's closer than I would expect, though.
If it's anybody but Gamos,
It's like
they've got
it's-
a problem.
It's either Gamos or the old ass man.
Pretty close, actually. It's pretty close out there.
What do you got, Croft?
I'm at 43.
He's the
Solid.
biggest. He's the biggest boy. But
Brett's
it's
living up
close.
to his himbo status at a nice 35.
Okay, there we go. Now everyone's out there and the camera. And we can see everyone's name and everyone's health. Wonderful. You guys can just be giant on this page because hopefully when I copy paste it's correct. Okay, so interacting with Zendala that day, like finding her after talking with Azaka and telling her you have a charter. she is quite pleased. She will tell you that she started to get a charter, but they told her it was going to take a couple days, so she is more than happy to jump on yours. More on your charter that Akeen has secured for you. It's a charter of adventure for 50 days with a special exemption. If you return within the 50 days, your goods will not be searched nor subject to any taxation, which is an exemption that is not dealt to basically any charters. That's just strictly because of the merchant prince connection that you're getting. The charter extends to 100 days as a normal charter of adventure at that point, where your goods and things will be subject to taxation and search. But 50 days is pretty damn good.
Maddie's not old enough to know that she shouldn't take the 400 gold pieces waved in front of her. She should be, working those backroom deals and trading favors for taxes.
400 gold is so much money, and Brett taught her money's great.
Money is great.
All right, so an evening of rest and whatnot before the day, the next day comes. The day after the race, the streets are mostly cleaned up of all, everything that was kind of moved about to make way for all of the racing that happened the previous day. And everything seems to going back to its normal buzz, which for you guys, when you arrived, the buzz was kind of wild. We had massive events going down. So it probably feels almost a little chill to you, even though there is kind of a lot still going on, especially near where you guys have been staying. But Azaka will meet you as early in the morning as you would meet her kind of outside the city to the south, to the southwest, kind of to start basically out near the water and then kind of go into the bay to head out into the jungle. And you'll need four canoes going down this river, and one of you has to share a canoe with Gamos.
That has Mythos written all over it.
There's
That's
just riding
the,
a little lower in the water.
Probably wouldn't be the first time, truthfully.
That's on the float trip. That's where the 2 coolers of Busch Light are stacked.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the big heavy raft.
Yeah.
That everybody has to get out and pull.
So I am curious who we're gonna boat up with. Just out of curiosity. Azaka will lead the way in her boat.
Brett showed up a hard 30 minutes late, so he might have gotten pre-assigned to a boat on this first day.
I love that. We got Gamos and Mythos. We've got Azaka and someone. And who else? What else we want?
Maddie would like to ride with Sandala.
Love it. Tiny Gorm.
Tiny would probably take just whatever's left, but he wouldn't mind being with anybody or even with Azaka if she's got room in her canoe, if she's not
Yep, she
going
does.
solo.
No, she will have one more. So we'll do Tiny and Azaka and Brett and Gorm. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order from left to right, but Azaka will be in the first canoe. So you tell me marching order as far as canoes go. Just look favorable. Do we hate this?
I feel like
nervous?
I feel like Gorm drew a real short straw. Getting like just Will hasn't been around a ton for this campaign, so like we haven't had a lot of like RP opportunities to flesh that out. But what I've seen so far, I'm sure this is gonna get old for Gorm real quick. I think Brett's boat would be in the back too. By the way,
I mean, Gorman, Brett, you guys went to that
The temple.
the temple together. Gorman
Yeah.
doesn't know that, but he did.
Yeah,
He
it
was
was real
there. Excuse me. Now that looks like a marching order for the ages. It's wonderful. And the camera boulder just follows along in its own miniature canoe. All right. As High Sun quickly approaches, I think you guys are on your way down the river Shoshin Star. So Shen Star. There it is. Towards Camp Righteous is the first civilized place you'll hit along the way. And let's take a break. Return as we go into the jungle. Cue Guns N' Roses. Always an upside.
Yep.
You know where else there's room to improve? In the jungle.
Hey, Michael, what was my my girl's
Nailed
name?
it. Really nailed it. Ooh, I got a name generator right here. That seems like the perfect use for that. Since I haven't got to use the name generator in a long time. Wonder how approximate we can get here. Ooh, this is good. Definitely not normalized races because we are not in a normalized population.
yeah, but this is a human. Brett's not that freaky.
Oh, that name sucks. I'm not using that one. It was the first one that came out, but it was bad. God, some of these names are so bad on this. Ooh, this is female human. Is that? That doesn't look like how you actually spell that name. Is that Eloise or is that Eloise?
Louise?
It's here. I'm just gonna copy it. I don't know if it's a mispronunciation. Is that Eloise or is that something
Yeah,
else?
yeah, I think Eloise.
Eloise Redfield,
Perfect.
female human. Female human that works at a blacksmith actually in town.
Ooh, that's hot.
Yeah, literally.
I think that she might have, like, because Brett was talking up, they're going into the jungle, last night in town. Seen him off, passionate kiss at the river before we depart.
Amazing. This is hilarious. Okay, so this website's wonderful, right? So this late middle-aged woman, she wears light armor faded through time and improper care, and is in pretty good physical shape. She keeps her long silver hair kept up, and blue eyes are passionate and lively.
Fantastic.
Personality, she's quiet and reserved. She prefers to listen than to talk, which seems absolutely perfect for Brett.
Yeah.
She will nod occasionally and communicate non-verbally. Amazing. Her motivation is what really gets me. Her motivation is once a kiss and wants her loneliness to end. So Brett, she's gonna be
Amazing.
She's gonna be looking for you.
That's awesome.
She
That couldn't have
funny.
been gone better.
She
Yeah,
needed to
that's
feel
really
the thunder and chase the lightning from the sky. She's
Yeah.
a walking, talking, fucking Garth Brooks song.
Perfect. Eloise.
That's so funny.
I look forward to our return to Port
She's
Hope.
gonna be like, she's like sad when you leave, like crying. That's really good. That is the Kassoon.com D&D generator website. Get all your things at Kassoon.com. No sponsor. So funny. All right. Jungle Times? Is it happening?
Let's do it. You got the Welcome to the Jungle drop.
Maybe I really should get that. That would be hilarious. I don't, because it's illegal. But we shall go into the jungle by way of river, which gives us 2
Motorboat.
movements per day. Your first day out. Let's talk. We're gonna kind of ebb and flow through these. Some by way of montage. But your first day out is a lot of probably getting used to the water, getting used to the canoes, getting used to bringing all the gear that you guys are bringing, and it's just getting used to doing all of that in the heat, in the rain, because it rains multiple times per day, and then just kind of entering into that jungle atmosphere is just different. Azaka is very on you all the time about like really little things. She really wants you to get out the rain catchers as soon as the rain is like coming and collecting water, because dehydration is such a massive killer out here. She kind of warns you, like, don't drink the freaking water, you big dummies. Like, collect the rainwater, we'll drink that. If we need to collect water from the rivers, we'll boil it. She's very like on you about survival shit out here. Wants you to watch your rations. Even though we have a lot of rations, she's still like, don't be eating all of that right now. Like, Gamos, put the fucking energy bar back down. You know, like she's really on you this first day probably, and just like overly annoying. To kind of like hammer home a lot of this stuff. This is an easy part of the river, and she's just overly cautious of like trying to teach you, because she doesn't want. She's honest that this is a bigger party, harder to like be on top of, but she doesn't want her record besmirched basically by losing one of you to something stupid like throat leeches. Like she's on you. So the first day generally pretty smooth as far as all that goes. As the evening draws near, like you guys aren't really even in the jungle proper yet. She gets you all over to the side where you'll pull up the canoes onto the banks, cover them with these like tarps that have all this like fake foliage on it. It's basically like a ghillie tarp thing, and kind of like pull it up so that from a distance just looks like leaves. And generally you'll be looking for somewhere a little ways into the jungle to stay right off the river, as that's generally safer from, you know, things moving around the river area. But this night,
What sort of things?
Dinosaurs, crocodiles, things looking for water. She's basically like, you know, everything's going to go down to the river at some point. It's better to be a little ways off of it. And if we can find somewhere that's a clearing, or if we can find somewhere that has decent decent like coverings, like large trees that are downed, or like cliff faces, things that we can defend a little better. But this first night, you're kind of out on a beach, kind of before entering into the jungle. So this is your first night outside of Port Hope, but also you're not quite in the jungle. It's pretty peaceful. It almost feels like you're just on a lake or something. And it's an easy night. You're basically learning how to set up your campsite, things of that nature. At any like point in these times, if there's like something specific you want to do with someone in particular or one of the NPCs, let me know, or else I will bug you if I have something from one of the NPCs. But Azaka will take like a watch, and there just needs to be 3 other watches. So you have plenty of people to kind of like get used to it, and kind of cycle through watches. This first night isn't that important of a watch, but Azaka will again kind of be sure that everything starts to get kind of like followed, and so we keep doing the things, right? Like that's kind of her thing.
Brett can take the first watch, being the general late night person that he is.
He's like, it's like I'll either take a watch or I'll just lay there because I can't sleep.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock. What are we
Mhm.
doing? Why is everyone sleeping?
Exactly.
I almost will take the last watch.
Is this like a general every night thing that we're doing here? Or maybe every other night we could even do if we want to split it 4 and 4? You tell me. So Brett,
Yeah, I like that every other night.
night 1 is this, night 2 is this. So night 1 is Brett on 1, Ramos on 4. Who's on 2 and 3? We've got Zendala and Azaka as well. You can put them wherever you want.
Which one was Gamos on?
He's on night 1, watch 4.
Then Mythos can do 3 and 4. He's Transin.
Ooh, okay. Great. You want an Azaka or a Zendala on that day?
Sure.
Yeah, they can take watch 2.
Say Azaka on 2.
How about
Just
Zendala?
put- well, it's damn it. Zendala and then Azaka on watch 2 on the second one. Because that's easier. What do we got? We got Maddie, Tiny, and Gorm. Where you guys want to be on the second day of watches?
3.
Okay. Tiny on 3.
It seems like Maddie should do 1.
Be
Be the teenager trying to stay up late, and
Yeah, teenager trying to stay up late, and Gorm, the older guy.
old man
getting
who gets up in the morning.
Gotta pee anyway at that time.
What's that
Seems-
noise?
I think Andrew's back in.
I was gonna say it's either a vacuum or a hair dryer.
It's back in. It won't last too long. There's only one rug in there. So it's the rug that Cooper eats on, so you know. Okay, first night watches are easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's see. I'm gonna track your progress here. One, because I think it'll be really cool to see. Okay. This is-
At some point over the 7 days, Maddie will want to talk with Zandala when it's kind of just like maybe the two of them on the boat and people aren't paying attention.
All right.
Just put it into the
Okay, so day 2, again, easy. The rain is harder on day 2, and day 2 is the day that you enter more of the jungle proper. Like as the river comes down, like the jungle starts to come thicker around you and starts to feel more. How do we say jungly? There's more noise. There's more like bird noise basically that you're hearing, and it is vastly different from any place you've ever been before. This jungle, it is hot and humid. Like it is pretty sweltering to be like in any type of heavy armor, heavy, just like carrying a bunch of stuff. Like you're basically like wanting to like, you're taking rests in the canoe, kind of like back and forth between each other. The rain is pretty brutal, even as you get like under some canopy. It finds its way through, and it's just like basically like pouring in some areas. It's not the most fun, but I think probably the just newness of it all is exciting to a point for most people. And the danger aspect is obviously just the best. But you don't see any animals other than maybe birds, parrots, kind of brilliant looking, like red feathers, green feathers, blue feathers, all kinds of like interesting looking birds. But as far as animals go, you're not really encountering much. Every so often, there's a log in the river that Azaka is wary of, worried about crocodiles, but none are seen over the course of that first 2 days. And this day, as you like pull up on the bank after the day and start looking for a place, Azaka is quick to kind of find a nice spot about 50 feet up the bank and a little bit into the jungle that has some rocks around it, fallen tree kind of nearby. It's like a decent looking place for you to camp, and generally just easy enough. As you guys are setting up the camp for the evening, Tiny, maybe you're moving a rock, maybe you're moving a log, something just to kind of get room for the tents, room for the fire that you're going to build. You're moving something out of the way. And as you put it down, setting it aside off to one side, there is something that catches your eye. There is this like thick area of like undergrowth and brush, and just like dirt, and it's kind of mounded a bit where you're kind of setting this like stone down out of the way, and there's something like off-whitish of color kind of like sticking out. You kind of bend over and start brushing it away, and you start to like uncover this like kind of larger thing, right? This like kind of like rounded, and you're not really sure what it is until you kind of really get it out of the dirt. And as you pull it out of the dirt, it's like it's a shield of some kind. Definitely a shield. It has like a handle on one side, and there's this like leather. The leather is really well worn, kind of holding this thing together. Roll an investigation check, and also a nature check. So this thing is made of some sort of animal bone. Multiple kind of animal bones lashed together in this like large pattern, but the main part is like this pretty big, solid animal bone shield of some kind. And you can tell that it's like, it was at one point pretty well taken care of, like maybe like some kind of wax or some varnish applied to kind of like keep it in shape. But you can tell that it's been kind of basically buried here for some time. And as you look around the area like around it, you see a few more like small like pieces of leather in the dirt. As you're kind of like moving about this area, but nothing else really catches your eye there, other than this shield, this dinosaur bone shield. As far as you can tell, some type of dino is your best guess.
Bring it to Azaka and ask her if she has an idea what kind of creature this could be from.
Let me see. She like takes a look at this thing. Intelligence is nature is it wisdom or intelligence?
Nature is wisdom. Intellect, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's intellect. Okay, less good for her. 16 is not bad though. She's kind of looking at it. And I am not sure what this is. Something large. It is a bone of some kind. It looks to be maybe the flank of a triceratops or something large and armored. Where did you find this? And she'll kind of walk with you over to the area. And start kind of like brushing around. And yeah, as she does, she starts to like slowly uncover in the dirt. After a little while, like you can start to see like the pieces of like skull, like as she's almost like as you're brushing away a fossil of some kind. Mm-hmm. And the skull is pretty like stout, and like the more you start helping her kind of like uncover this thing. And roll a nature or medicine check, your choice.
Oh,
she'll do the same.
Let's go.
It's not good for her. Tiny, you as you start to see this like form uncovered here, it appears to be a dwarf, and it is, you know, months on months old, maybe years, that it has kind of been here by the looks of it. And with that, as you get more and more uncovered, you can actually see that it, the chest also is covered by a large kind of bone armor. It looks like, and the armor actually has this like cracks and holes, like 6 solid ones just across, basically like square in this chest, and you can tell that like these impacts are what downed this dwarven fellow here.
Does this armor look like any of the armor that, like the Bone Crushers or any of the gladiatorial factions had, or Dino Fight people had?
Yeah, so roll your choice. History, investigation, perception. I'll take any of those.
Jesus.
The only connection you've got there is that they're both bone. Like they wore bone. The Bone Crusher team did.
Yeah.
And that's probably all you've seen as far as the bone goes. Bone armor and stuff like that. So there is that.
Tiny will ask, not Akeem, Azaka. If the injuries or the holes in that chest piece are animal based or like spears, if she knows. More or less, I guess, based on what the pattern is. Like, would she know that there's a creature with like 4 horns, or is this like ambushed, stabby stab?
Yeah, so she looks at them for a moment and kind of like basically like getting this thing free and kind of peeling it off and like looking at it. And she does actually, after kind of like looking at it, holding it a few different directions, whatever, like she has a inkling that it could be these could be from a Stegosaurus, 6 horns on the tail. But it also could be from some type of laid trap, possibly. It is hard to know for sure. This seems to have been dead for quite some time.
If it was a trap, does she know what to look out for?
When you say that, she actually like looks around in the trees and then kind of like shakes it off, like, yes, there is a chance. Well, like I said, this has been some time since this has fallen, but there are goblin tribes out in these jungles, and they are known for their nasty traps. But generally they are very easy to point out. The goblins are not quite as smart as one might think, at least as they might think. Keep your eyes to the trees. They don't normally venture this far north. And I've not seen them near the rivers. So a Stegosaurus might be the more likely culprit here. And one day I'll decide what my voice is for this person.
There are still remains, like, of this dwarf, right?
Yeah, there are remains. They're mostly skeletal. At this point.
I want to try to take the armor off.
Yeah, absolutely. So after a little bit of time, you can take the armor off, and it's like it's basically a set of scale mail, but it's like made from like large chunks of
Mhm.
bone. Some of it has been kind of like carved and like refit in areas. The leather is pretty, shitty.
Right.
And the chest plate is obviously not going to be helpful in any way, but it is actually pretty cool armor.
Yeah. So the skullish part he will keep and maybe carry around for a little bit. He is more wanting to look at the body and see if there are any weird black tendrily areas, like a keen, or potentially any weird symbols or any sort of just non-natural tattoos or anything like that.
Yeah,
Questionable.
roll an investigation. I'm looking over these bones in more detail. Yeah, so looking them over in more detail, you're pretty satisfied after looking them over that there doesn't seem to be any strange markings or anything like that that you can find. These have been out in the jungle for some time and kind of covered in dirt. But you clean them off pretty well, and you're pretty satisfied that it doesn't seem to have anything like strange going on.
Okay. We'll dig a hole and bury him.
Love it.
Just a very makeshift, like whatever. Here's a hole.
Sure. Easy enough to do. So Tiny's kind of doing this, and Azaka, and I'm sure people kind of walk over from time to time, kind of seeing what was going on, being interested by it. But anything else that anyone wants to do on this, your second evening in the jungle? Does anybody want a cool dinosaur shield? Dinosaur bone shield? Not a lot of shield users in the group.
I'm trying to think if every. It's a month. Nah. I think you just bury him on it, or put the shield over him
Also cool.
to keep things from like digging it up.
Bada bing. Okay. Day 3. Day 3 is the first day without rain. Not something that often happens. In Krizik, there's normally showers throughout the day randomly. This is the first day without rain. It just continues to get hotter and hotter this day. Muggy. Pretty gross. But Azaka will kind of like point out the fact that like doesn't look like rain when you can get glimpses of the sky through the canopy above. And like she just kind of continues to like mention like it hasn't rained yet, which is something that she starts to kind of almost worry about, even though you guys have plenty of water at this point. You can just tell that is something that is on her mind. As you pull off this day, kind of as you're like basically starting to look for that pull off point, Azaka kind of like holds you guys to like a slow in the water, and Tiny is in her canoe. She kind of looks back to you first, Tiny, and then just gives a point. And you can see kind of on this upper bank, on this bend, that there are 3 canoes pulled off into like the bank, and that they are covered by very similar looking like leafy, like ghillie suitish, like coverings that you guys use, and they are like just kind of pulled off the banks about 50 to 100 feet ahead of where you are, and the sun is like approaching that point where it's setting. This is kind of like the time that you'd start looking for somewhere to pull off. And she points that out and kind of slows down. And as everyone kind of slows, you can see her pointing ahead to those 3 canoes, and kind of looking on with that like literally the look that she has in her image. They're kind of like sweating.
Is she
wondering.
pointing them out just to point them out and be like, "Oh, look, there's people here," or is she like, be
You can
quiet,
tell she's
there's people
wary.
here?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can tell she's a bit wary. And like Tiny, you're in the canoe with her. She kind of like turns to you a bit and is like, "It seems there is someone else down here already. I do not know who they are. They appear to be using similar tactics to many of the guides from the port." Like, and then she kind of like leans over and grabs your own little blankets that you have there in the boat. "We can continue on or try and go find out who it is. I'll leave it up to you."
Who's in the boat right behind us?
That would be Zendala and Maddie. I will say we won't get too much out of the way. We could go down the river a bit and pull off on the other bank. If we want to stay away, we might have to take our canoes further inland.
Let's do that. Let's stop and see if we can't figure out who they might be.
Okay,
And
so
convene as a group.
she'll like slowly bring you to a little further down, but on the same bank. That way you can kind of investigate at your leisure. She's basically says like, "We could split, we could all go together, but as I pointed out to Tiny here, there is someone else camping nearby, it seems. No matter what we do, we will be in somewhat proximity to them, and we could move on further, but we would be traveling into the night. It may be safer to make acquaintance with them, just to let them know we are here. But at the same time, we do not know the reason they are out here."
Did you know of any other guides heading out around our time?
No, all that I had spoken to had not been booked yet. Within the last few days, I don't know of anyone that has left. As far as the Jobel's guides.
So, she's even be past like we know we'd never hear.
Yeah, so she'll like point then across, like, we could dock somewhere across the way and pull our canoes up so that if they leave before us in the morning, they will not see. Maybe we can find a somewhere we can hide our fire. If avoiding is what we would like to do. And she'll like look around again just to make sure no one's watching. And as she kind of like glances around, like, she seems pretty calm.
I agree. Let's just move on and let these strangers be.
So yeah, she'll kind of look to you guys and basically looking for agreement. Is that what we want to do? And she'll start getting the boats ready and kind of like shove off to the other side, to the western side of the river. And what day? 1, 2, 3. So we're back to the other watches. So as you guys kind of get set up for the evening, she kind of goes out into the jungle a bit, pulling your boats much further off of where you would normally put them, and kind of giving them a really like aggressive hiding. And the night passes, notably. So it's Brett, Zendala, Mythos, and Gamos. You're in a position, she's found kind of a position that feels advantageous in case someone were to come across the river, basically. You kind of have a hill, so you can kind of see down to the banks from like a watch position, but your group is kind of hidden. And she'll kind of point that out before going to bed, basically, to the watches. And so your watches through the night are kind of more focused in that direction, generally speaking. And you never get, as your fire is well hidden for the night, like it appears so is theirs. You never see fire or anything from that direction. And in the morning, Mythos and Gamos on your watch, you kind of prioritize the river, and it you don't see any canoes coming downstream, basically, or coming upstream, heading past. So by the time everyone is awake and like getting ready to leave, it appears that you will be leaving before them around, like 8 in the morning or whatever. No one has come down river.
Cool.
River on this day is kind of brutal. It rains and rains and rains, and the river is much more treacherous to go up against, and you guys are kind of working a lot harder than you've had to in the past. Though it doesn't seem to slow your progress too much. The main thing is when you guys get to the end of this day 4 and start looking for a place in the jungle, it is Azaka, as you guys are kind of clearing out your space, who kind of like quickly like puts her hand up and like gets down, and then points through the jungles in a direction off west. And as she does, she starts to almost prowl up closer, almost instinctively starting to move here through the jungle to get a better view. And she turns to whoever is nearest by at this point. There's something out there. And I'll ask you all to roll perception checks. Dang!
I do. Nice.
Look at all these. Look at all these badass perceptions. You got advantage on that guy?
I do.
Wow.
I have advantage on perception rolls.
Literally everyone. Amazing. So as she kind of points out in the direction that she's looking, you all see this kind of shadowed shape. There's kind of light coming through the canopy still, though darkening in the area. And there's this shadowed shape that just kind of throws you all off. And it's the same shape that probably threw her. And it's this humanoid shape, this, but it's completely unmoving. And the more you kind of focus your eyes and get a better vantage point, you're able to see that there's this some ruined man-made ruin that you can see some type of structure that is from a time well past, as it looks not in the best shape, and a big part of that structure, as my roll 20 completely freezes, there looks to be some type of statue, larger than life. Please reload. Roll 20. It's just absolutely dead. This larger than life statue that seems to be somewhere tucked into some of this ruin. You're, I don't know, a 1 to 200 feet away from it at this point, through a bit of the jungle. Azaka kind of just directly pointing it out.
We're on land.
You are on land at this point now. You're basically starting your getting your camp set up for the evening
Okay.
before this was spotted.
I was muted there. Maddie will go look at it with anybody
I
who
was
wants
gonna
to
say Tiny would go investigate with a Maddie.
I'll go with you, Maddie.
go. Yeah. You can go look.
As we're approaching it,
Yeah.
I would like to kind of look around the area for any sort of tracks or evidence if something or someone else has been through here fairly recently.
Yeah, roll perception. And how are the three of you approaching?
Tiny
Stealthily,
would be,
you guys running with your
Tiny
arms
would be
up, just
approaching
screaming?
cautiously, and he would definitely be trying to keep the other two from just, well, Maddie
roll
from
stealth.
being wah!
Maddie's
If she was.
Maddie takes a step and then Tiny kind of looks at her, maybe puts his hand out, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, I got it." And she'll roll a stealth roll too.
Brett's going not loudly, but just pretty carefree.
Sure.
Join his step before we get too far. he will, like as we're walking, he'll look at them and just say, "Remember, guys, you have to look through the rain to see the rainbow." And the three of us are now aided, and
Love
5 extra HP for the next 8 hours.
Nice. It's great. Love it. So, as you guys are moving in that direction, Tiny, you're probably within 50 or so feet of these kind of ruins at this point, and you can see the like statuary through these ruins. And then you see this like this kind of flash of like white in the ruins, and then you're kind of like looking around to see like what the heck you saw. Like, was it just like light glaring off of something? And then you like scan the area, and you can actually see there's like this pretty like beaten down trail near the outer area, looking like something's been moving in and out of this area pretty often. And you can see up in the trees around the area, there's like a lot of like unnatural like canopy, like that sticks and leaves have been kind of like shoved and pressed into areas that maybe they weren't before. It looks like this area is being used by something. Nesting or game trails, like of there's something that is moving around this area often, and maybe possibly nesting up in the trees.
Yeah,
that's what you see. And then Maddie steps on a log
loudest,
that just goes right as she's like,
and then knocks down the tree, and then breaks the statue, and then the ruins all fall in.
There's this just really loud crunch in the jungle as you guys are about 50 feet from this thing.
Tiny would whisper to the two that we should go back and get the others. That
Why not? We're already this far. Might as well go check it out, right?
There may be something here nesting.
Nesting?
It could be big. Yeah, and then he'll start pointing out like the canopies and stuff, and pointing out areas that's like obviously stuff has been moved, whether intentionally or just because something has been like resting there. He'll point out the path that goes, point out the wearing of it, showing that something's gone in and out a lot. Just to be safe. Keep everyone together.
Whatever you say, Tiny, I'm down. Can't imagine the beast would be home, considering, hasn't seen us or, nothing's happened yet, but sure. Lead the way.
We'll go back to the group. Explain it. And say it's worth investigating. With caution.
Love it.
Almost gears up. Ready.
Okay. So, do you want to take the group in full? What would you like to do?
Everybody that's willing or is interested in going should go. If anybody wants to stay in the canoes, I'm trying to think of what to do with Zendala. I don't want to leave her by herself, that's for sure. I think she just comes with us. And we go as a group and ask Azaka to stay near her as an extra layer of security.
Love it.
Did we cover up the canoes already?
Yeah, so the canoes are covered because you guys were basically starting to put the campsite together. And I think I have this set up correctly. Let's see how good I am. Pretty good, I think. We'll just do this part for fun. Yeah, you guys are gonna love my map skills. This is my best work.
We love all your maps.
Oh, you're gonna like wish they all looked like this. Let me tell you. God. Damn. My best work. Why doesn't it work the way I want it to? All right, well, not as best of my work, but it's good. Gets the job done. All right. Let's investigate this. Let's see word. No, down here. That upper left area is where we see ruins. You can see, which some of you can, the well on the map, marked by a red circle, obviously. Any glimpse of that you can see is that like statue. And you are approaching through very thick jungle.
How does my forest knowledge translate to jungle knowledge? I mean, I don't have anything
generally
specifically
okay.
that's like, you know, you have advantage against stealth rolls or whatever, but like, I live in the forest.
Yeah, I think generally you're pretty like good at moving through the forest in the same way that you'd be good at moving through the jungle. You know, like it's not something that is. There's some foreign bits about it, but it's not 100% foreign either.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll approach cautiously, stealthily, slowly, trying to avoid any other big, loud twigs.
I love it.
Maybe moving a couple out of the way, just in case.
Sure. Just getting my peoples here. Zendala and Azaka. Okay, there we go.
What, 60 feet?
I assume nobody else is an entirely black screen, right?
No, there's actually
Mine's black too.
a
Oh
white
no!
grid map.
Assuming that has to do with
Who's broken?
not having night vision.
No, you should. Oh, your
I don't have
character-
dark vision.
Your token literally just doesn't have vision. That's hilarious.
Yeah, my screen. I've just been like scrolling and looking around.
Magical darkness descends upon you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mine's black too.
deeper darkness.
Someone cast daylight.
Can never get out of deeper darkness.
Yeah, you're just in deeper darkness all the time. All right, so Maddie first. Vision on. Night vision, 10 feet. Dimming. Dimming start. 0. Set. Can Maddie
Oh.
see?
Yeah.
Who else? Gamos? You have no dark vision, correct?
Dead.
10 feet. Dimming. 0. Save.
Hmm.
Mythos?
Yes, sir.
You have dark vision?
Yes, sir. I have supervision
Oh.
actually, so you can just light up the whole map.
Excellent vision. Tiny, do you have dark vision?
I do not.
Okay. Is Gamos the only one with dark vision?
Gamos.
I think, yeah.
Gamos does not have dark vision.
No, Mythos.
Mythos, sorry.
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah. We only have
Maddie
like
cast.
name.
Maddie will cast light though on.
It is light enough
Okay.
to see. Dimming start 30. Mythos, can you see now? Yes. I think everyone.
No.
What? What?
The screen is black.
It's black.
It black.
Is this thing not connected to your character sheet?
Ah,
Oh. Can you
there it
see?
is. Yeah. What am I looking at?
A good map.
some shadowy ruins.
It's a great map.
Thank you.
Where's
Missing
the
a
well?
red well.
It's hidden.
Somewhere up in there.
It's hard to see. Yeah. Hold on. I'm relinking everyone's character sheet that I needed to fix or token. So, who else did I fix? I fixed Gamos, Mythos. I fixed Maddie. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. All right. I think we're good now. I think all characters should hopefully be able to see. As far as I can tell. So yeah, you guys are bottom right. Upper left is the area where the ruins are. And if you get a glimpse through those ruins at a red well, then that is said humanoid statue that can be seen. And if you're wondering, there is always a red well on this map for reasons of posterity and remembrance. So if you guys are moving stealthily through the jungle towards that region, would you all please roll a stealth check? If anyone's wondering. Oof, that heavy armor disadvantage. Terrible. Asaka does have good stealth. Oh,
Oh, be damned.
and Zendala does not.
Oh, my goodness.
Plus 0 for Zendala on the stealth. Asaka though, +4. Solid. Okay. Damn. A lot of heavy armor out there. Okay. Put you as you are. And let's see here. Mythos, if I'm not mistaken, you have something very inexpensive on your character sheet.
This is true. It costs like I think 20 gold pieces.
Yeah, like 20 gold pieces.
Do you want me to link it?
No, I'm looking at it right now. We're good. No one is surprised, as I need everyone. I feel like saying no one is surprised is like an obvious thing that no one is surprised in many different ways of that. Because obviously I put you on a map, something's coming. Roll for initiative. Welcome to Not Chult, motherfuckers. No one is surprised because of the magic emanating from a sword on Mythos's person.
Sting?
Not to put you on blast.
That's for my quarterstaff, bro.
From your quarterstaff. From something on his person. From a weapon that warns him on his person. We'll say. I need her to roll. I need her to roll. Not Asgarbo. And then, as they heard you approach the last time, the reason you're not surprised, even though you might be surprised, but you can still act this round. But you're unsurprised by the magical sense of surprise when two, how do we say this? Large creatures drop from the canopy very nearby you. They look like this. They are ape-like creatures with 4 upper limbs, as you can see by the imagery here. They both drop from the canopy above. In an ambush. Almost they were expecting you.
Michael, I hope you can handle a Gurion better than Troy LaValle.
Probably not. Probably not. Roll for Gurion fight. All right, Brett, you are the first to go. You are not surprised because of a magically compelling weapon from a member of your party that costs no more than 20 gold pieces as items. And it is your go as you see these 2 Gurions shockingly land near you, but unsurprisingly, mechanically speaking.
Can I do a check to see if I know what kind of creature this is?
I would love that. Nature? Pardon?
Sorry, I was just trying to click on it. Didn't mean to.
You've been fired from the party for that. Yes, you have read something or another about these creatures. They're not indigenous to Krzyk specifically. Like these things exist in other areas. This is a Gurion, and it is a monstrosity. It's a big gorilla with 4 arms, as far as you know.
My 26 crit perception earlier didn't see any of these things.
You actually did see the white fur of one of these things.
Flash across.
Along with its game trail and nests.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. But it also took note of you all.
Do I know like how intelligent these creatures are?
Not very. They're just kind of like aggressive territorial beasts.
Okay. I would like this one to make a Constitution saving throw.
Northy?
Northy. as I pull out my electric guitar and just make the world's worst screech.
Oh no, I forgot my amp.
How are you gonna plug it in, man?
Constitution save.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it doesn't matter. It saves.
Oh, there it is. 16.
You'll take half this damage as I try to shatter the air, and so 7 points of thunder damage. And I would like to also make an intimidation check to, try and buff back at this guy.
Pretty good. Yeah, as this explosion kind of happens nearby, it's my sheet. Silly. It kind of like screams out as this kind of explosion happens nearby, and it's really aggressive manner after this kind of like explosion happens near it. It like looks like incredibly like when a monkey kind of makes facial expressions like a people, but it looks like really scared as this kind of explosion wears off, and then it just like yells in the general direction of your group in a really aggressive way.
I will back up, and that'll be my turn.
Let's play. Okay. It sprints in. Yeah. Doesn't need to do that. Oh my word. I wish I
Any
read
plans?
its abilities before I just getting stoked over here. Okay, so first things first. It lashes out first against Tiny with a claw attack. Oh, it doesn't. Oh my god, this is the greatest creature of all time. Okay, claw attack against Tiny. To start. 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Lovely. 6 points of slashing damage. A second claw attack against Matty.
I don't know what I'm concentrating on.
It doesn't say you're concentrating. It's very strange. 22 to hit, man.
That will hit.
Tiny and
And-
Maddie, remember you had those 5 points of aid
Oh, yeah.
from me earlier.
Yep, I'm dropping that.
HPA.
So, and as it hits, this wave of energy just emanates from Maddie's left hand where her mark is.
Oh my god.
And she does a telekinetic reprisal. I need a strength save.
It's really dope. Strength save. 7.
I can't believe that worked. So that is a fail. It takes 7 force damage
Awesome.
and is pushed 10 feet away as this just
Awesome.
ripple of energy.
Does that trigger opportunity attacks?
Absolutely does. From Gorm and Tiny and Maddie. That triggers opportunity. Well, pushing.
I use my reaction. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's I'm gonna say absolutely. Because it's like unexpectedly pushed back. You have this moment where you can attack it. Gorm
Yeah.
and Tiny.
Where's my thing? There you go. Maybe? Not with advantage, so. Lame.
6 is a miss. Sadly. Oh, Norman's right there. 14 is a hit. 10 points of damage. As this thing like blows backwards in this like scream. Where did we move from? We still have movement. But it's you'll actually note it like steps forward unless it can't. Can it still move? That doesn't. That only pushes it. Great. So like it steps forward to kind of continue its front, but it does not. Something about that it did not like, and it is not getting fully up close. As it attacks Tiny one more time with a claw for a 19, 9 points of slashing. And it does have the reach here, and then it attacks Gorm once with a claw for another 19, 10 points of slashing. But you'll note it cannot reach with its bite after being pushed away.
So it has 5 attacks.
Yeah, it does. It has 4 arm attacks and 1 bite attack, it seems.
All right.
But its bite attack was staved off. And that's its go. And it just looks kind of aggressive at you all, but there's something more tentative about that one. Mythos, it is your go. And the
Cool.
Grions are coming, as they say in the business. And I plan to kill one of you of them.
Mythos moves there. Cast Shillelagh is a bonus action, and will attack. Whoppa! Oh, there's no force damage on that. I'm sorry.
21 will hit. No force damage. 11 points.
Because bonus action economy sucks.
The bonus action economy is
Anna nods gravely.
overflowing. Yeah. It's not great over here in the bonus action economy. Anything else?
No, so it
You
concludes
don't
this
have
turn.
another attack yet? You don't have 5 attacks?
I don't have 5 attacks, but I'm working
Dang.
on it. I'm actually taking 5 feats at this level.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
Extra attack, extra attack, extra attack, extra attack, and
Yeah. Polearm
languages.
Master.
The
Yeah.
languages one. Yeah, good. Tiny, it's your go. You've just been punched in the face by 2 different arms of a Grion.
Uh-huh.
Things are great.
Right there. Let's go, everybody.
Welcome to the Jungle. We got fun games. We got everything you want, as long as it's from gorillas.
2. It's 30 feet. Cool. Dip there.
See. He's gonna attack you.
Yeah, I know.
With space.
I know.
With his claws.
Does not.
Please.
Um,
I'm here. They're here to murder.
and then we are going to. Take a totem down, put it next to me, and that will heal me and everyone for my level, which is 4. Actually, it'll heal everybody for 8 because I took a feat at level 4, which doubles
Holy
any
shit.
healing I do for any ability or any spell.
Can you control that thing that I put out there?
Control. Oh, look at that! I cannot.
Creepy doll.
I do not have control of that.
How about now?
Yes.
All right. There you go.
I need to make sure. Yeah, cool. Everyone's within 20 feet. Cool.
The totems don't have to look like a creepy voodoo doll. I just thought it'd be fun.
That's fine with them being a voodoo doll. So yeah, everybody heals 8 if needed. Since we're level 4.
How about my Greons? Do they heal the 8? They don't.
No. I don't think it specifically says.
It's not.
Creatures of my choice.
Yeah. Would you like to choose them? They kind of are big and furry. Like a.
I was gonna ask, how big are they? Are they like I'm 7 feet tall? Are they bigger than me?
They are
taller than me. Okay,
Yeah.
They're
They
big
weigh
boys.
more than you.
They're big boys. Cool.
Yeah.
I can't just wrestle a monkey.
They are large boys. But they do not stand taller than gods. For he is a beast.
Cool. And that's. Yeah, we'll call that a day. We'll conserve our spells for a minute.
Alright, Zendala will go.
Little totem.
And she will turn invisible.
All right.
She, the wizard our party's been waiting for.
See ya!
Goodness, I thought our party in the burnt was big.
My concentration blurbs aren't like popping up on these characters for some reason. It's really annoying.
It's okay. Yours aren't popping up correctly. Mine are popping up for no reason.
It's really silly. All right, Gamos.
Gamos will move there. Rage. So
Yeah.
everything within 10 feet. Just the monkey right now. Takes 2 points of fire damage.
Ow!
Sizzle.
Smells like
That
burnt
is-
hair.
Then he's going to take a step in to get that flanking with Mythos.
Only you can prevent forest fires, Gamos. You're not helping.
It rains a lot here.
True.
And through that, so that's
Oh my
Damn.
god. Those both hit.
one attack. I don't know why there's 2. Just the first
So
one.
much damage. Okay, well, the first one's really good.
We're not level 5 yet.
16 points of damage. Wow, so a solid strike. A solid strike from the goat.
Oh, I'm done.
Maddie.
Maddie will go here. So Gorm can get the flanking bonus because she wants to use an attack and a bonus action. Will not wait for him to start swinging. Good. Good.
You love to see it.
You love to see it.
If you're a 4-armed monkey.
So, do I confirm?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
No, you don't. You're good. You're safe.
So she whiffs wildly and almost feels the quarterstaff slip out of her grasp, and then but manages to hold on to it, and then we'll spin and do a kick. I don't know. We will call it We'll call it lightning. She has a lightning kick against the, and probably miss as well.
Does miss. Does miss. Does miss with the lightning kick. Oh, very cool. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks it's cool.
Natural 1 and natural 6 are not going to get it done. Well,
Solid.
hopefully Gorm's advantage can do better.
Solid start. Gorm, what's you got? I don't know if we have Gorm. If we have Will's microphones tonight.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's working.
Hey,
You've just
there
been
he
literally
lives.
sitting in silence for 3 hours.
Yeah, I've been listening.
He
Nice.
lives. Are you home? Or are you still out elsewhere?
Yeah, we just got back.
Nice.
So he's going to move here
Are you kidding?
and give Maddie a little fist bump really quick.
Hell yeah.
Wait, let me see if I have to do that. No, I don't have to give her the fist bump. I'll just go here and nod and give her that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I did like the imagery of the fist bump. Let me just walk
Well,
around.
yeah,
and-
maybe we still do
Gurion.
the fist bump. He's down in the dumps, but he's still rooting for Maddie. So, and give one of those.
Oh boy.
And he's gonna smite, which it's been so long since I played, I forgot what that is. 2d8 plus charisma. Okay.
Woof. My monkey.
It's already 2d8. Damn.
3d8 against an undead.
Luckily, my monkey's alive and well.
He's gonna do that. And feeling like he's kind of pissed that thing off is going to then
Not happy.
use this and split it between himself and Maddie. Eight plus 4.
It's poor Gurion.
Dang, that's cool.
Oh, earlier that smite was 1d8 plus 2. And it's
I was gonna say, I
2d8
was gonna ask
plus
if it was
2.
1 or 2.
So add that to the smite. And Maddie and myself will each get half of this in temporary hit points. So 5
Okay.
each or 6 each, whichever.
Why don't you take 6 and I can take 5? Unless Grandpa needs to give the extra to Maddie.
He's okay for now, but I think he's fixing to take 5 attacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to give any to the Gurion? No? Alright. It is Southeast turn. The first 2 attacks are coming at Mythos with the claw and the claw.
Ooh.
The claw.
21.
The claw is our master.
Yeah, 21
Claw-
just
The
hits.
claw tells us who will go and who will stay.
21 just barely hits, I hear. Here's the second claw against Mythos. 22.
Man.
Also hits. 18 points total damo. While it looks the other way with its 2 other fucking badass claws and goes after Gamos. First claw against the goat. Another 22, let's go. 9 points.
Man, rolling rocks.
And might as well hit him with something higher than a 22. 16. It's not higher than 22. Misses. It's so sad. So sad. My 22s could only stay so long. In its rage, its miss, it will lash out and bite its 5th attack because these things are brutal against the goat, man. 25 to hit.
I'm going to
against the
use
goat.
my reaction to, with my electric guitar. There's just sparks that shoot out from it.
It's good.
and distracting him, and he has to reroll.
Oh, my 25. We'll just have to roll higher. I try to manifest things sometimes. And it misses as the sparks from the electric guitar fly into its eyes. It screams and it's sad. It's really upset about that, actually. But it is really happy about how much damage it dealt out and that it's still alive and well and gonna get a really good meal out of this or something. I don't know if these are carnivores, but they're 11 life right now. Azaka is also 11 life, and she will join in the fun with
Please don't kill our guide.
don't worry, she's not I gotta turn on my toggles here. Can I just do oh, I guess she always rolls advantage. I'll just let that happen. It's fine, right? She will come in. I need to adjust some of these things real quick. She has a scimitar. For reference, she also carries a long backpack, but she has a scimitar that she's going to run in and do a hit with. I think she has multi-attack too. 2 scimitar attacks with advantage. 17 hits and 16 hits. So 2 hits. Does some damo. And she'll stay right there, keeping this triangle of attack going. And top of the order, Brett. Two big gorillas.
Yeah. Brett's gonna shout at the gorilla, "Hey you, where do fruits go on vacation?
Oh no.
Perish." And so Brett
They just get up and leave.
Brett is going to use a bardic inspiration die to in combination with as his bonus action and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. So it needs to make a wisdom save, but it's going to minus a d6 from its saving throw.
Oh god. I'm sure. Okay, it's +1. Okay, we'll just.
It's a d6, not 6, d6.
Oh, beautiful. We'll roll the wisdom first and see if it even matters. How's a 5? Do you want to know if you got negatives though?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Oh,
Nope, not
okay,
quite.
Not negatives.
Anyway, so it is now prone and incapacitated, unable to
Laughing
stand,
hysterically.
laughing hysterically.
Is that the northy or southy?
Northy.
Great. Incapacitated. Things are really good for this guy.
What's its intelligence score?
5.
Okay. Oof. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
even
okay.
think about that.
It's dumb, but it's not dumb enough
Yeah.
to be unaffected. It still thinks that was funny.
Yeah, I think something below 4 is like an ooze.
Yeah, this is just above an ooze. This poor Gurion. Well, it's his turn. Does he get
Yes.
a save at the end of his turn?
At the end of his turn, yeah.
Whiz.
That will save.
All right, he doesn't get fucking slaughtered, but he is still prone.
I mean, and he lost all his attacks, which was kind of
Yeah.
the point.
Things are bad for him. Mythos,
Smack.
angry gorilla, right here in your face, wants to do you harm.
This time with force damage.
Oh, no. I'm afraid to see you guys at 14 points.
Next combat. 4,
You see like
Giant mud does.
you see little birds flying around its head. And you realize that only it can see those birds, but for some reason you see them for just a moment. As it is in really bad shape. Anything else you'd like to do?
I guess I'll move within range of Tiny's creepy doll.
Nice.
Tiny was like yelling to you. Move closer! One step!
Do I get those
Tiny?
on your turn, at the end of my turn, at the beginning of my turn?
I mean, we're back to back, so yeah. It's a D4
Oh, nice.
plus something. Plus my level? Plus my. I have too many healing things.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Oh, it's just a D4. Well, you'll hear for 2.
All right.
Solid. Hey, it's something.
One
Massive
D4,
healing.
just a D4.
What else you got, Tiny?
This is an action. We're going to have a little chilly spiritual meeting with our monkey friend.
Don't do that.
Maybe. Oh, hey,
Which monkey?
Southie.
Why'd you have to pick that one?
Cause I'll let the melee guys affect the down one.
As you reach out with your spectral hand and crush its fucking heart, it looks at you really sad and dies. It's Zendal's turn. Nothing seems to happen. Gamos. There's a dead monkey.
Almost was gearing up to hit the one in front of him before it fell over. He looks at the other one, and then a 2 has
Charge.
fallen over.
Charge.
So he's gonna pass his turn just standing looking.
Gamos looks towards Maddie as the Gurion lies prone after stopping its horrific laughter. Maddie, what do you do to this poor thing? Nothing's happening. Oh, there they are.
Oh,
Maddie, how do you want to do this?
Nice.
It's like it's a heel kick to the eye, like a roundhouse kick, heel.
just
And
like
the,
on the ground.
Both Gurions lay dead. Their forearms splayed out. And everyone survives. It's great. And everyone's happy about it.
Yay!
You've defeated my Gurions.
And now the CR has been set. Or raised.
After the Gurions go down, Zendala kind of appears. Sorry, I didn't want to be a bother. I figured I'd just hide there while Hisoka was maybe better off helping. I hope that's all right.
It is good.
Should we explore the ruins? Do you think there's any more?
Can't imagine there's more. We were pretty loud.
Probably not. Unlikely. Tiny will go up to Mythos. Then he'll use close wounds. And there we go. You can roll a hit die
Hooray!
plus your
That's
con.
cool. That's very cool.
To help a little bit.
Looks like you have to spend a hit die.
Yeah. Well, it's a cantrip spell, so
But
it would
you
be
don't. We don't
totally
have to. We don't
broken.
have to take a short rest.
You don't take
Yeah.
a short rest, but just
Yeah,
like
That's cool.
yeah.
It gives you the ability to spend a hit.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it is cool,
So I
So
can't
I
just
guess
spam.
but it's not free.
No, not
Which I
totally
think
free.
balances it well. I
Yeah.
just
Michael,
pointing
I assume we're back to the old way of only half hit die regained.
out at night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a long rest is just a half hit die until you are able to find like proper sanctuary somewhere, or a tiny hut or something.
Oh, is this? Yeah. Well,
Don't
we're not
worry,
level 3
I'm
yet.
checking right now. Yeah, the hut's a bard spell. That
Yeah.
that can
It's a
be
bard.
one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a ritual.
Brett likes his
Eventually.
comfort.
Eventually, you'll get there. Cute. So,
Go investigate the ruins.
Yeah.
I would love you to.
Let's do some exploring.
As you kind of move up to the ruins, Maddie, roll perception or investigation, your choice. There's some stuff going on. Yeah, so Maddie, as you walk up there, you can see pretty clearly that there's this statue of this like humanoid figure, larger than life, kind of in the middle there, and it's overgrown, as are all these kind of ruins with vines, and the jungle's kind of like taking them back. And you can see there's like stones kind of everywhere thrown about. This looks to be like some kind of small shrine that's been here for some time, and kind of recovered by all the jungle here. As you're approaching, you can see pretty clearly now those kind of like nesting areas in the canopy above that these Gurion likely were staying in, as well as some of the kind of like worn down vegetation throughout the area. With 15, as you're approaching, you can actually see under one of like these archways of this ruin where a pillar's kind of fallen, that there is something like kind of glinting in that area. And there seems to be some things piled over in that direction. Kind of, we'll say like in somewhere up in here. But you can see it's almost like a cache of things like being kept probably by these Gurions. Collected, if you will.
Maddie will go and look at the shinies.
Love it. As you're kind of walking through that area, give me just a general history or intelligence check of any kind, just as you're kind of walking by that statue there. Religion would also work. Yeah, there's a dude, a big humanoid man.
Yep.
But the shinies are a lot more boring. As you head to that area where there seems to be like some things that are out of place here in the nature, you find a few things. You find a climber's kit, fully intact climber's kit. There's a small like wooden coffer. It doesn't have a lock on it. With two, it has some glass shards in it, but two unbroken tubes with some type of liquid in them. You find two healer's kits, You find a gemstone worth 25 gold pieces. It's about this, size of your palm. You find a hooded lantern. You find a silvered dagger with some markings on it. And last but not least, you find this kind of rolled up piece of parchment that seems like it's been through a bit of wear and tear. It's been through it.
Can Maddie
That's
read,
kind of,
can
that's
Maddie
what you find.
read what the parchment is?
Of course. It looks like that.
Ebony maps.
And it's in the character folder.
All right, Maddie, we'll call out to everybody and be like, I found a bunch of stuff by the statue of this random guy over here. And is the silver dagger... I mean, she's not going to be able to tell if it's a... Yeah, never mind. So, and if so, she'll. I mean, if anybody wants these things, or wants to think they can figure out what these things are, the 2 unbroken tubes of fluid seem like they could be interesting. I don't know who would want the healer's kit or the hooded lantern or the dagger. But she will give the parchment to Azaka.
Azaka will look over the parchment. And it takes her a while to orient herself. But she does have advantage. And even a 10 is enough for her to recognize. Let me do this. So she starts to kind of point it out. She points to that uppermost dot. This, I believe, appears to be the Port Hope. And these here, the 2 rivers moving south. This one to the left, the Shosen Star. To the right, the Tariki. Here, where there's fire, quite familiar. For that's where the placement of Firefinger is.
What's Firefinger?
Is that the place she wanted us to go to?
Correct. This is the home of the Terrafolk.
Okay.
But it looks like whoever's this map was has some other locations. And she's kind of looking it over for a while. To the far right, the bridge across the whatever river that is, the River Oolong. It appears to be Ataz Mohaha. To the south, approximately where Kir Sabal lies. I don't know what the X Well, that centralized city circle is. Nor do I know what that heart is. But that lake to the left appears to be the Aldani Basin. The centralized circle south of Firefinger is deep jungle as far as I can tell. I've not seen a city there.
Is there a way that like we can sort of incorporate the just like circle heart in the map, you know, like kind of cue the fire?
Yeah, I
Roughly.
will actually uncover Firefinger. Kirsabal is labeled.
Is that heart the same place where the Naga is? Or is the heart further south?
Comparing your maps,
Further south, isn't it?
She believes the heart to be further inland, so further east than that. Give you some markings. She'll kind of mark up your map a little bit. With really good art. Some of my best work. That heart. Let's try that one more time. That's better. And something here-ish. There you are. Some things added to your map.
Oh. I would take the med kits, the healer's kits, if nobody else wants them. Because I can use them.
Go for it.
What else was there?
The rest, let's just throw in the bag of holding, right?
Yeah, I mean, does anybody? If no one else will try, Maddie will try to figure out if she can like basically attune to the silver dagger.
Go for it.
And I don't know if anybody wants to try to figure out what the tubes of fluid are in there.
I wanted to do a medicine check on them.
Yeah.
Yep, medicine or nature would work either.
And I was going to say, it could be a case where, like, right off the bat, we might not be able to, but tonight when we camp down, we might get more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after you like uncork one of them and give it a sniff and maybe even a taste after you figure the sniff is safe, you find that they are 2 vials of antitoxin, which are in the compendium. A creature that drinks this vial of liquid gains advantage on saving throws against poison for 1 hour.
Are they viable, usable, since they're broken?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're 2 unbroken tubes.
Unbroken.
The rest of them in the coffers are broken glass, but 2 of them are intact, unbroken tubes of fluid. Those are 2 tubes of antitoxin. Maddie, roll investigation or history on the dagger. Nothing there, Bob.
Fantastic.
So you
All right,
take that
and
for
she-
the
and she-
night.
And she can't attune to it, I assume.
Yeah, after the first hour, you find you're quite bored, and nothing seems to happen for you.
All right.
Non-attunement item, that silvered dagger.
Maddie will offer it to anybody else before dumping it into the bag of holding.
If anybody else wants to look it over, let me know. You are welcome to do an investigation or history check, or you can dump it into the bag, or just throw it into the fucking forest. Maybe you'll hit agree on.
Great news, y'all. We are 0.010% back on paying off our debt with that, 25 gold piece gem.
Nice.
We're doing great.
Maybe they want a silver dagger with runic markings.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Maybe
probably
that's-
worth at least
Maybe that's
25.
worth some money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an elite magic item.
I mean, silver generally adds 100 gold pieces. So
Yeah, there you go. We're cooking.
as long as it's from here.
Can I do
Yeah.
a roll for the statue, dude?
Yes, absolutely.
What would you like?
Religion or history.
Religion or history? Does it have to be?
Yep.
Let's see. Well,
Yep, we got no intelligent space characters.
damn. That's
We know.
bad.
It's pretty old and worn. Big statue.
That's mainly it. Just like a statue in kind of a
Yeah.
little open area surrounded by the ruins.
Big humanoid statue surrounded by the ruins. Azaka is kind of walking around the ruins, just kind of like checking above and below, like kind of keeping her eyes peeled for any more like ambushes. And as she kind of walks back into the ruins, she says, "It looks like we could take up camp here. As far as I can tell, it seems only the two were likely a mated pair. We'd probably be safe enough for the night. It's not a terrible place to find rest near the statue of Optal."
Nice. Way to rub our noses in it.
This is Uptow.
Yes, it looks to be one form of him. The kind of crown of with the sun motif upon his head. Usually, is something of his. This seems to be quite old, if I were to say.
Cool.
Camping here sounds great.
Free info.
Imagine going out into the jungle without a guide, you know?
Yeah. Sure, plenty do it.
All right, you guys set up camp around the statue of Uptow. And I think we'll call it there on night 4, waking up on the morning of day 5 in the jungles.